Hello everyone, welcome to Finance by Avashan Apatha. In today's video, we'll see the Dow theory. The Dow theory has always been a very integral part of technical analysis. The Dow theory was used extensively even before the basically the Western world discovered candlesticks. In fact, even today, Dow theory concepts are being used. In fact, traders blend the best practices from candlesticks and Dow theory. The Dow theory was introduced to the world by Charlie H. Dow, who also founded the Dow Jones Financial News Service, Wall Street Journal. During his time, he wrote a series of articles starting from 1900s, which in the later years was referred to as the Dow theory. Much credit goes to William P. Hamilton, who compiled these articles with the relevant examples over a period of 27 years. Much has changed since the time of Charlie Dow, and hence there are they are supported and the critics of the Dow theory. So, coming to the first topic, the Dow theory principle. The Dow theory is built on a few beliefs. These are called the Dow theory tenets. Charles H. Dow developed these tenets over the years of his observation on the markets. Nine tenets are considered as the principle behind the Dow theory. So these are first one is, you can see, indices discounts everything. The stock market indices discount everything which is known and unknown in the public domain. If a sudden and unexpected event occurs, the stock market indices quickly recalibrate itself to reflect the accurate value. Now, overall, there are three broad market trends: primary trend, secondary trend, and minor trend. The primary trend, this is the major trend of the market that lasts from a year to several years. It indicates the broad multi year direction of the market, while the long term investors is interested in the primary trend. An active trader is interested in all trends. The primary trend could be primary uptrend or a downtrend. The secondary trend, these are corrections to the primary trend. Think of this as a minor counter reaction to the larger movement in the world. For example, corrections in the bulk market, rallies and recoveries in the bear market. The counter trend can last anywhere between a few months to several months. Major trends, or you can say the daily fluctuations, minor trend, sorry, and daily fluctuations. These are daily fluctuations in the market. Some traders prefer to call them market noise. All indices must conform with each other. We cannot confirm a trend based on just one index. For example, the market is bullish only if CNX Nifty, mid cap, Nifty, small cap, etc., all move in the same upward direction. It would not be possible to classify market as bullish just by action of CNX Nifty alone. Coming to the seventh, volume makes volumes must conform. The volume must conform along the price. The trend should be supported by volume. The volume must increase as the price increases and should reduce as the price falls in an uptrend. In a downtrend, the volume must increase when the price falls and decrease when the price rises. You must refer to the other chapter for more details. We'll let you know this in a while. Sideways markets can substitute secondary market. Markets may remain sideways, trending between a range for an extended period. For example, Reliance Industry between 2010 and 2013 was trading between 860 and 990. The sideways market can be substituted for a secondary trend. Now, the ninth is the closing price is the most secreted, you can say, between the open, high, low, and close OHLC price. The close is the most important price as it represents the final evaluation of the stock during the day. So now coming to the second topic, the different phases of market. Dow theory supports the market. Dow theory supports the markets are made of three distinct phases, so which are self-repeating. These are called accumulation phase, the markup phase, distribution phase. The accumulation phase usually occurs right after a steep sell off in the market. The steep sell off in the market would have frustrated many market participants, losing hope of any uptrend in the price. The stock price should be plummeted to a rock bottom valuation, but the buyers would still be hesitated to buy, fearing another sell off. Hence, the stock price lunges at low levels, which is when the smart market money enters the market. Smart money is usually the institutional investors who invest in long term perspective. They invariably seek value investment which are available after a steep sell off. Institutional investors starts to acquire shares regularly in large quantities over an extended period of time. This is what makes up an accumulation phase. This also means that the sellers trying to sell during the accumulation phase will easily find buyers. Therefore, the price do not decline further. Hence, invariably, the accumulation phase marks the bottom of the markets. More often than not, this is how the support level are created. Accumulation phase can last up to several months. Once the institutional investors' smart money absorb all the available stocks, short-term traders sense the support. This usually coincide with the improved business sentiment. The factors tend to take the stock price higher. This is called the markup phase. During the markup phase, the stock rallies quickly and sharply. The most important feature of the markup phase is speed. Because the rally is quick, the public at large is left out of rally. New investors are mesmerized by the returns, and everyone from the analyst to the public sees higher levels ahead. Finally, when the stock price reaches new high, 52 weeks high, all time high, everyone around would be talking about the stock market. The news reporters turn optimistic, business environment suddenly appears vibrant, and everyone wants to invest in the market. By and large, the public wants to get involved in the market as there is a positive sentiment. This is when the distribution phase occurs. The judicious investors, smart investors who got in early during the accumulation phase, will start offloading their shares slowly. The public, the public will absorb all the volumes offloaded by the institutional investors, smart money, thereby giving them the well needed price support. The distribution phase have similar price properties as that of accumulation phase. Whenever the price attempt to go higher in the distribution phase, the smart money offloads their holdings. Over a period of time, this action repeats several times, and thus the resistance level is created. Finally, when the institutional investors completely sell off their holdings, there would be no further support for prices. Hence, what follows after the distribution phase is the complete sell off in the market, also known as the markdown of prices. The sell off in the market leaves the public in an utter state of frustration, completing the completing the circle which follows the sell off phase is a fresh round of accumulation phase, and the whole cycle repeats. It is believed that the entire cycle from the accumulation phase to the sell off span over a few years. It is important to note that no two market cycles are the same. For example, in the Indian context, the bull market of 2006 and 7 is very different from the bull market of 2013 and 14. Sometimes the market makes from the accumulation moves from the accumulation to the distribution phase over prolonged multi-year period. On the other hand, the same move from the accumulation to the distribution can happen over a few months. The market participants need to tune himself to evaluate the market in the context of different phases, as this sets a stage for developing a view on the market. Now, coming to the third topic, the Dow patterns. Like in candlesticks, there are few important patterns in Dow theory as well. The traders can use these patterns to identify trading opportunities. Some of the patterns that we will study are double down and the double top formation, the triple down and the triple top, range formation, and flag formation. The support and the resistance is also a core concept of Dow theory, but we will discuss it much earlier, as you know. So the fourth topic is the double bottom and top formation. The double top and double button is considered a reversal pattern. The double bottom occurs when a stock price hits a shallow price level and rebounds back with a quick recovery. Following the price recovery, the stock trades at a higher level for at least 2 weeks, after which the stock attempts to hit back to the low price previously made. If the stock holdings up, if the stock holds up once again and rebounds, then a double bottom is formed. The double bottom formation is considered bullish, and hence one should look at buying opportunities. So you can see in this chart, this shows the double bottom formation in Cipla Limited. Notice the time interval between the two bottom formation. The price level was well spaced in time. Likewise, in a double top formation, the stock attempts to hit the same high price twice but eventually sells off. Of course, the time gap between the two attempts of crossing the high would be at least be 2 weeks. In the chart here, you can notice in this chart you can notice double top at 336 level. So on close observation, you will notice the first top was around 336 and the second was around 332 with the same amount of flexibility. With some amount of flexibility, a small difference such as this could be considered alright. From my trading experience, I find both double top and double bottom handy while trading. I always look for opportunities where the double formation coincide with a recognizable candlestick formation. For example, imagine a situation wherein the double top formation and the second top formation a bearish pattern such as the shooting star, which means both from a Dow theory and candlestick perspective there is consensus to sell, hence the conviction to take the trade is higher. Now coming to the fifth topic, the triple top and bottom. As you may have guessed, a triple formation is similar to double formation, except that the price level is tested thrice as opposed twice in a double bottom. The interpretation of the triple formation is similar to the double formation. As a rule of thumb, the more numbers of times the price test and react to a certain price level, the most scared the price level is considered. Therefore, by this, the triple formation is considered more powerful than the double formation. So the chart here you can see shows a triple top formation for DLF Limited. Notice the sharp sell off after testing the price level for the third time, thus compiling the triple top. So the key takeaways from this chapter are: Dow theory was used in the Western world even before candlesticks were formally introduced. Dow theory works on 9 basic tenets. The market can be viewed in 3 different phases: accumulation, markup, and distribution phase. The accumulation phase is when the institutional investors enter the market. Markup phase is when traders make an entry. The final distribution phase is when the large public enter the market. What follows the distribution phase is the markdown phase, following which the accumulation phase will complete the circle. The Dow theory had a few basic patterns which are best used in conjunction with candlestick. The double and the triple formation are reversal patterns which are quite effective. The interpretation of double and triple formations are the same. So this is all about today's video on the Dow theory. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Okay, bye bye.